210 Boxing TV here with Vergil Ortiz. Vergil, man, you have a highly anticipated comeback fight. A lot of people have been wanting to see you in the ring for, I think, over a year and a half, man. How are you feeling?
I feel great, man. I'm ready to go. This is the best I've felt in a long time, and I'm just ready to get back in the ring, man. It's been too long.
Now, of course, everybody knows why you've been out and everything.
Yeah.
Tell us about that situation. Tell us, is it completely done? Is it completely gone? Is it over with?
I think it's over with. It's been I had Rabdo the first fight with McKinson, and then the Stanionis fight when it got canceled the second time. The third time it wasn't Rabdo. It was a simple case of excessive heat. Overheated. I was dehydrated. But I think it's over with. I'm pretty sure it's over with right now.
Now, again, we got January 6th coming up, Frederick Lawson, fighter from Ghana and everything. But before we get to that, let's talk about the reintroducing of you and also the marriage again with Robert Garcia and coming back to RGBA. How'd that work out? How'd that come to be?
It's good. How did it come to be? We just felt like we needed to come back, and this is where I felt like I was at my best. So we came back, and it feels like we never left. It honestly does. And it feels like we picked up right where we left off. We're doing good, and we had a great camp. We're closing out. Last day of sparring tomorrow. So there's really nothing else to it. Nothing special changed at all. Really, we just picked up right where we left off.
Now, Frederick Lawson, fighter from Ghana, as I stated, there was a lot of Ghanaian fighters. We had Zuma Nelson, we had Joshua Claudia and everything. What do you know about Frederick Lawson?
I don't know much. I know I've seen some of his opponents. I know some of them, so I can gauge a little bit. I've seen some clips here and there on YouTube. He's a tough fighter. He's there to fight, and he's smart as well. And he's there to win. He has everything to win. Nothing to lose, so we know. I'm not going in there with this is just a comeback fight. This is I'm treating this fight like this fight means everything, because it honestly does. I haven't fought. I have like 3 fights fought through. I feel like this is my do or die.
Speaking of do or die, I said your reintroduction. Also, you're being introduced into a new weight class. You're going into the 154 and everything. The 154 is a stacked division.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on just going in there against Lawson, not looking into the future, but at the same time, the names that are at 54?
Yeah, of course. So there's a lot of competition. We got Tim Sue, you got Charlo, you got Brian Mendoza. All those are good fighters, and God willing that I get through this fight healthy and with a win. I want to face the best. Nothing but respect for all the top fighters in 154. I just want to prove that I'm up there as well.
And even with that, because we all know that you had something at 147 trying to get Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford can move it to 154 as well.
Exactly.
And take you there. So that would be a good
that fight can still happen. Yeah.
I saw you smile on that one.
Yeah. No, that's an exciting fight. Yeah.
He said, if I recall correctly, he said you have to beat somebody like Mean Machine. You went off and you actually did that. And then he went off into his own spectrum. He had a great performance against Spence and everything. What did you see in that fight that you hadn't seen from Crawford prior?
Crawford, I don't know if I saw anything different. Crawford he's probably one of the top 3 fighters, active fighters right now. I think he all he did was just solidify that. He's a great fighter. I'm not gonna say great. I'm gonna say people are good fighters. He's pretty good. Crawford's a great fighter. And like I said, I don't think he necessarily showed us anything different. He just solidified what we all thought he was.
And even then, with Crawford maybe at 154, we all know Spence is going up to 54 as well. That could be another one, a Texas Showdown.
Of course, yeah, at the Cowboy Stadium. I've always said it. In my past interviews, I always said the fight, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen at 54.
One thing I've noticed, mentioning the names that I mentioned, even the names that you did, I see that spark in your eye. I see that, I see you smiling. I see you actually having more emotion than you normally do. I was watching you work out, and you were just like a stone cold killer. Just no remorse, no reaction, no nothing, but just that. How is it that you could flip that switch? One way be one way, and then just talking, just let emotion come out.
There's a time for everything. I can do that in fights as well. When Samuel Vargas let out like a loud ass burp, and we were in the bubble, so that shit was loud as fuck. I started laughing in the middle of the fight, and then boom, switch, we're fighting again. There's a time and place for everything. it's I don't know. There's a switch. I can flip the switch anytime I want.
Yeah, and the only reason why I say that is because, of course, fans really haven't seen that side of you. You know, they see it when like you do like appearances and everything like that.
Yeah.
They'll see that, but they don't see it when you're fighting or even after the ring. You're more calculated with your words, like you are with fighting, with your punches. You're very methodical.
Yeah.
So how is it that you? Again, it's just the switch. How does it work?
It's hard, you know. It's hard to pick and choose. I honestly do pick and choose. I'm actually pretty stupid in real life. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a robot like all the time. I'm like nowhere near that. It's a business, you know. I don't want to hurt. It's not that I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Honestly, people are easily offended. If I'm being honest, you know, and some people just can't. You can say something and people will completely blow it out of proportion. And you know, some people will say, "Well, hey, don't worry about it." Well, I have to worry about it. I always have to worry about it. So I just play it safe, and that might be boring to some people, but people who know me know I'm not like that.
Well, we also seen that you're also multi-talented when it comes to music and everything. What's one talent that you haven't showed everybody yet? Like, do you know how to cook? Things like that.
I want to learn how to cook. Probably after boxing. So maybe even like handle my own nutrition or something. I want to learn how to cook like salmon first, you know, because I love salmon.
I was gonna ask you what's your favorite food, but then you just said it.
No, my favorite food is enchiladas.
Okay.
For sure. But you know, I help my grandma every now and then. I mean, very rarely. I'm not gonna lie and say I help her all the time. I've helped her maybe like 3 or 4 times. But you know, it's really cool just to be able to make your own food how you want it. You know, it almost even tastes better. You know?
Oh yeah.
I want to make my own food.
Speaking of food, you know, we're in the midst of the holiday season. Christmas just passed. You know, people are still. I think Hanukkah's already over. Kwanzaa just began, and then New Year's. How difficult is it being in the middle of not even in the middle of training camp, but the end of a training camp, and have all that holiday food around?
I'm not around it.
You're not around it.
It's really just me, my dad, and Hector in the house. We're all eating the same thing. Yesterday we had our Christmas dinner was tilapia and cauliflower and broccoli. You know, but I'm not complaining because that shit's good.
Yeah,
I still think it's good. You know, that was, I don't want to say struggle meal, but I used to eat that when me and my dad were growing up. I didn't know we were struggling.
Yeah.
But he would make me tilapia, and that shit was good. Like I was like, man, this is good. So sometimes when I'm losing weight, make me some tilapia. You know, it takes me back. You know, it's healthy for you and it tastes good.
Obviously, I know the arena that you would like to fight in the most is AT&T Stadium. That's your goal. But if you were to fight overseas, who would you want to fight and where would you want to fight overseas?
Man, I don't know. I want to go to Tokyo.
You want to go?
I want to go to Japan. I don't know if there's any top 154s in Japan over there. But, you know, I guess I'll fight anyone in Japan.
Well, I will say this. If you ever go up to 160, the guy that Triple G beat in Japan, I forgot his name right now. I know it's not Murutaya because Murutaya is his fighter. I think it was Murata or Murato, something like that.
I think it's
Murata. Yeah, I think it was
yeah.
Murata. Yeah, you know, Japanese fighter had a big showing there. Hasn't lost since then. Still been on a roll after the Triple G fight, so that may be possible.
And that'd be a good fight. Yeah. Very, very excited. I want to go there. I want to visit. I like their culture. You know, they're real polite, real clean, and they're ahead of the U.S. You know, technologically for real.
What's the best place you've ever visited? Now, you just said Japan is like somewhere you want to go. So far, what's the best place that you have visited? Giving you culture, giving you everything that you were looking for.
Okay, well, the one that's coming to my head, like just popping in, there's honestly Cancun. But I fought there, so I didn't actually get to enjoy it. But man, I just remember the air, just stepping out the plane. The air was different. Like it was just green. But, you know, the air was fresh. It was beautiful out there. I also went to Boston. I went to see one of my favorite bands play, Avenged Sevenfold. You know. This actually happened after my last fight got canceled. You know, I was actually pretty depressed and I needed to get out the house. I was like, man, and I was like, I just saw one of their posts saying that they're on tour. I'm like, oh shit, like, wonder it's next time they're playing. And it said in Mansfield, Massachusetts, right next to Boston. I was like, shit, hey dad, I'm gonna go to Boston. I'm gonna fly out today. And he's like, today? Are you sure? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay. You know, he's not used to that.
Yeah.
So, but I went by myself, man. It was fun. And, you know, I got to meet the band. And, you know, they're real cool people. So, yeah. Anyways, long story short, Boston was real cool. You know how like, the houses look, and you see people wearing the white wigs and stuff. Well, it's minus the white wigs, all the houses look the same. Like you're on some like the fucking British is about to attack, and your front porch and shit. Yeah, it's type shit, But it was cool. It was different out there. I liked it too. I actually went to Harvard just to say I went to Harvard.
Just to see it?
I went on campus.
Oh, really?
Just so I can say I went to Harvard.
Just to see.
Yeah, I swear to God. That's the only reason why I went.
Did you go to Pinocchio's?
No.
Pinocchio's is like their famous square pizza spot.
I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try it. I went to the beach. I was gonna pour some tea out into the ocean, but I didn't do it.
Make your own Boston Tea Party?
Yeah, I was going to, but I was like,
Finally, let's revert back to January 6th, man. Big show, Las Vegas, first big fight of the year and everything. Yeah. What should the fans expect from you?
You can expect an old-fashioned Ortiz fight. Like that's just. I'm always gonna bring that type of fight. I don't like being in boring fights. I'll find a way. I always find a way.
And finally, let the fans know where they can follow you, get to know more about you, and obviously where they could see the fight.
Yeah, so my Instagram and Twitter is just my name, Vergil Ortiz, Vergil Ortiz. The fight's on Zone. It's going to be on the Zone January 6th of next year, next Saturday. And just stay tuned. It's going to be a good one.
Thank you for your time, Vergil.
Yeah, thank you.